It began slowly, almost gently, with people who were not searching for rebellion or chaos, but for relief from confusion, loneliness, and a sense that their lives lacked direction. They found that relief in a leader who did not shout or threaten, but spoke calmly, thoughtfully, and with a confidence that made uncertainty feel unnecessary. He did not promise miracles or instant transformation. He promised understanding, belonging, and a deeper truth hidden from the rest of the world. Those who listened felt seen in a way they had not felt before. The leader spoke about purpose, about breaking free from a broken society, and about becoming part of something meaningful. He framed doubt as a natural phase and obedience as self-discovery, never forcing loyalty outright. Slowly, meetings became regular, conversations became longer, and personal struggles were shared openly within the group. What felt like support at first gradually became dependence. The group eventually settled in a remote area, far from cities and constant public attention, where they could live together without interruption. Life there followed a structured rhythm of shared work, shared meals, and shared belief. Members were encouraged to let go of old identities, not dramatically, but gently, by focusing less on their past and more on the collective future. Family ties weakened, friendships outside the group faded, and the cult became the center of each member's world. The leader positioned himself not as a ruler, but as a guide who had already walked the path they were now following. He rarely gave direct commands, yet his approval shaped every decision. Members learned to anticipate his expectations, adjusting their behavior naturally, believing they were growing spiritually rather than surrendering control. Questioning was allowed, but only in ways that ultimately reinforced his authority. Over time, the outside world was described as confused, corrupt, and hostile to those who sought truth. News, media, and outsiders were framed as sources of manipulation meant to pull members back into ignorance. Inside the group, repetition strengthened belief, and belief strengthened loyalty. Isolation did not feel like imprisonment. It felt like protection. To nearby residents, the group appeared strange but peaceful. They were quiet, disciplined, and largely self-sufficient, drawing little attention beyond mild curiosity. Authorities were aware of their existence but had no clear reason to intervene, as there were no reports of violence, abuse, or criminal activity. The cult existed in plain sight, yet remained largely unnoticed. Then, without warning, everything stopped. One day, the usual signs of life were absent: no movement, no voices, no routines. At first, it seemed temporary, but when the silence continued, concern began to grow. Authorities were contacted, expecting perhaps relocation or illness. What they found instead was something far more unsettling. The compound was empty, but not abandoned in chaos. Beds were made, clothing was folded, food supplies remained untouched. Personal items, journals, tools, and furniture were still there, arranged as if their owners expected to return shortly. Vehicles were parked neatly, doors unlocked, and there were no signs of violence, struggle, or forced removal. There were no messages explaining the disappearance, no warnings, no clues pointing to where they had gone. Every known member was gone, including the leader whose presence had held the group together. Investigators searched surrounding areas, nearby towns, transportation records, and financial trails. No mass travel had been reported. No unusual withdrawals were found. No credible sightings were confirmed. In a world designed to track movement, dozens of people had vanished without leaving a trace. As time passed, theories multiplied. Some believed the disappearance was carefully planned, with members trained over time to leave silently, split into smaller groups, and erase their former identities. Others suspected the leader orchestrated a final test of faith, convincing followers to abandon everything familiar in pursuit of a promised destination or higher purpose. A darker possibility suggested internal fear or sudden collapse, causing the group to scatter in panic rather than follow a single plan. What made every theory plausible was the psychological grip the leader appeared to have held. Former acquaintances described members as deeply loyal, trusting him completely and viewing external authority with suspicion. The cult had conditioned them to accept uncertainty, avoid records, and see disappearance not as loss, but as transformation. In that environment, vanishing was not unthinkable, it was devotion taken to its final form. Years went by, and the compound slowly decayed. Nature reclaimed the land, buildings crumbled. And what was once a living community became a forgotten place known only through unanswered questions and incomplete files. Official investigations remain open, but no breakthroughs have ever emerged. No reunions, no confirmed explanations, just silence. This story continues to disturb people not because of what is known, but because of what is missing. It challenges the belief that modern systems can account for everyone, that control always looks violent, and that danger always announces itself loudly. Sometimes control is quiet, sometimes it feels like care, and sometimes it leaves nothing behind at all. What truly happened to them remains unknown, suspended between belief, fear, and possibility. And that uncertainty is what allows the story to linger, long after the place itself has been forgotten. If stories like this make you question how influence, belief, and silence can shape human behavior, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next unexplained story.